There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet. Now, I don't care if Muhammad's his prophet. I'll be his prophet. If he wills it. There's no end of any apostolic age or any other age. I remind you, it is written, I am. Okay, it's an eternal now. What have I said to you before? You're dead until you open your eyes in the morning, and you're dead again when you close and sleep at night. You're living in an eternal now. I think some of you got it with that analogy. I sense that. I'm at peace after I spoke the words. I sense that. It got in to some of you. And me, hopefully. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet. I don't care if Muhammad's his prophet. I don't care if... Don't do that. You know, it gets very amplified. You're rolling your copper rod across the table to increase your chi because you don't want to actually wear it because that would be retarded. Is that insensitive? It would be short chariot. I'd be riding the short chariot if I did that. As long as without sparklers, I'm okay with it. No sparklers on my chariot. Yeah, I don't care if Muhammad's his prophet. I don't really care. The only thing I care about that sentence, in that sentence, is there is no God but Allah. And when you compare it to the first commandment, I am a jealous God. You will have no other gods before me. Now that's Christian. Words. Words between the lines of H. Those are Christian words. And let's look at this Quran quote again. There is no God but Allah. I gotta give that quote props. Truth be told, I have to give the second quote their props. Partial quote, excuse me. Partial quote. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet, is the full quote. Again, though, I don't really care about that. What comes after the comma, the second part of the statement, is irrelevant to me. Any one of us can be his prophet at any moment, at a moment's calling. Notice. I have certainly been his envoy. As God is my witness, I attest to that. I have certainly been his calling card. There it is. Thank you, God Daddy. Yes, I am pleased to announce that. So one is of an emotional nature. The first one, the Christian quote. I would call that an emotional nature. I know that if I'm jealous, I'm probably in an emotional state, probably, to some degree. In the second one, paraphrasing, there is no God but Allah. Done, over with. Succinct. Succinct. Something to think about. There's no beating around the bush in the second one. Just something to think about. I took 5.5 minutes to give you something to think about. Close my 7S now. I don't need you for reference material sources anymore. Yesterday's news. 7S. Oh, look how ugly it is compared to my... Look alongside my 13. Look at it. It was a product red too, because I always like to give. And product reds, when you buy a product red from Apple, 2 or 3 cents of that phone that was built in China is going to Sydney, Australia, to help them in their pandemic efforts post-COVID, because a lot of Chinese like to travel to Australia for vacation. I tied all that together. Yeah, it's apparent I didn't have Goddaddy's help there. I know. Hey, remember how I was going to tell you about like cruise ship stories? Because in another vignette, I touched on Garcon. Let's do that now. So, there I was at the captain's table, so to speak. Sometimes, yeah, cruise ships do it there. Okay, before I get started, let me explain something to you. You ugly American. Let me explain something to you. When you get on that ship and you take that Caribbean tour cruise and you leave American coastal waters, you are now technically and absolutely under the authority of the captain of that vessel. He is, or she is, your government. Period. Again, something to keep in mind. You little snot-faced Americans, something to keep in mind. Yeah, man, they put that guy on a plane. Where was it? Cozumel, Belize. They put that guy on a plane. And they said, your cruise is over. They have brigs, jails on the ships. That's what I've been told. And I have absolutely no reason to not believe it. And I would imagine there's a small armory on that ship somewhere too. Although I've never heard talk of it. I would imagine there is a small armory of, say, weapons. An armory would be a cache of weapons and munitions. So yeah, something to think about when you take a cruise. When that cell phone shit, sorry, damn it. When that cell phone signal starts fading out as you're leaving Florida. Yep. So be a good little American, I guess is what I'm saying here. Be nice. Yeah, so the first night we're at the we're whisked right in, I think almost from checking in. It's because first night of the cruise, and we find ourselves sort of a quasi captain's table. You know, all the 2,000 or 3,000 guests on this ship are, most of us, we're all herded into like the big dining room for opening night. We know you've been standing in line here. Have a nice dinner, okay? While your bags are being taken to your room. It's pretty decent. The room service is great there. Doesn't cost anything. You could live in your cabin the whole time and never leave it and never really want for anything. I know. If that's what you want to do. Some people do that just to get away from the world. They might go out on the Lido deck occasionally, the sun deck up top. Yeah, so we're at the captain's table. I know. I'm just painting the pictures for you. I'm giving, if you've never been on a cruise ship, I'm kind of giving you the, think about taking a shower in a shoebox. See? I'm just giving you little things to help you prepare you for your first cruise. No, think about taking a shower, and no baths are out. Baths are out, obviously. I mean, unless you got a penthouse suite, I guess I'll put you. On this cruise ship. No, you have a stand-up shower, and it's about the size of a shoebox. I'd say a lady's size 6. Remember how I told you I bought the sex doll a few tracks back, just for fun? It was an activity because I was bored. I know all y'all's women's sizes now, so think size 6. European size 6 shoes. Sorry, I had to. No, American size 6. American size 6 shoes. Lady shoes, sorry. I know, right? You poor women. Between the hair relaxers and the dyes and the bleaches and the maquillage and you already know what that is in Russian and in English. And everything else, and and perhaps, okay, you stop there, John. Let's not get into feminine hygiene products, okay? All right. So, yeah, y'all got it tough, man. Where was I? So, yeah, we're at the captain's table. That's right, Mean Green, Mr. Monster. I haven't completely forsaken you. Occasionally, I will return to the source of my downfall. I'm a Red Bull man now. I felt you needed to know that. Primarily, but that doesn't mean I won't take a Mean Green. And none of that low carb shit. No, I burn calories. It's like, give me all sugar, all of it. I want it all and I want it now. Eve's Plum. Somebody cue up the Eve's Plum. I want it all. I want it now. Don't even bother queuing that up. Unless you're into like really niche music. Okay? Think of a female Slayer. Think of a female Lemmy from Motorhead. You're going to get yelled at, is what I'm saying. A lot through the whole song. Yeah, so we're at the captain's table. And now, I know yours truly's already been on a few cruises. I already know how it works. Believe me, you think you understand S rolls downhill only? Huh? You think you have a handle on that? No, you don't. Wait till you get on one of these cruise ships, and you will watch the chain of command go from high to low. And those orders are obeyed instantly. And guess what? You would be at the very low end of that chain of command. You'd be at the bottom. You're like the plebe. That's right. You are a member of that ship. Did you know that? Even though you're a guest, you're also expected, if called upon in an emergency, do your part. You are considered a member of that crew. On the big aggregate, you are, because you're on the damn ship and you're out in the middle of the ocean. So you're going to be a team player, is what it comes down to. Oh, yeah, the drills, the lifeboat drills. Oh, yeah. They're kind of eased up on that now. I think too many lazy, fat Americans complained. Don't teach me how to get off this boat safe. And the band played on. Give me another cigarette while I ride my rascal on the Lido deck with my oxygen tanks up my nose. And let's have at it. I see these old women, man, riding their scooters, their rascals, oxygen tanks up their nose, and they are puffing away. Pell-mell. Somebody give me the Pell-mell. Gold. They both suck. It doesn't matter. Do they even make Pell-mells anymore? I know, but it looks like Pall Mall. I know, but if you're erudite and you're on the inside, you know to pronounce it Pell-mell. Okay? So, we're at the captain's table, and I ordered probably something meaty. Either lamb or steak. Every damn night, man, for dinner, it's either lamb or steak. Because I can. And so here comes the garçon. Good looking guy. I know, I finally got to it. I know you love me. You're so patient. And good looking guy. And he starts to make his way down the table. You know, he's introducing himself to all the new passengers and making sure everybody's fine. And all right, I can be a bit of a troublemaker. There, I said it. He gets down to me. I feel the hand on my shoulder in a very, gentlemanly fashion. Sir, how was your meal? All right, hold on. Should I pack a dip before I tell you this part? Let's do it, because it's worth it. I'm like 16 minutes in, but if this is one of those things you wish you could. No, you do. Trust me. You wish you could be a fly on the ship, right there, watching this. Little Dr. Evil there, or something villainous. Pickett, or fielder's choice. And goes on my shoulder. Good evening, sir. Welcome aboard to the cruise ship. I don't know, to nowhere. How was your meal? Oh, there it is. I have to get a Foley. I'm a Foley artist too. I have to get a prop. Hold on. Dude, it's worth it. It's worth it. Hold on. Yes. Give me that. Oh, here we go. And I just washed this plate too. It's got a nice, don't you love it when you run your finger down it and like squeaks. Did you know you can blow a goldfish's brain out doing that? You can put them in like it has to be a lead glass, I think, a nice Chablis glass. And you can put the goldfish in there and you can run your finger around the edge of the glass and you can blow its brains out. I know, happy aside. Jay Newberry taught us that. You know, those Army guys, now you see why I say Army, go Air Force. See, those Army guys, they're cruel. All right, so he gets down to the table and he's like, sir, welcome boy, how's your, okay, right? You know what? So I lean back in the chair. Now, this is Oscar performance time. I lean back in the chair. And I said, without looking at him, I only turned my head about 45 degrees. Now he's standing above my left shoulder. And I said, this is unsatisfactory. I'm going to need to see the captain. Man, when I said that, guy's already white anyway, okay? This guy's really white. He's like the old Renner, too. Chrome dome. Good looking guy. Because after I, did the big, fork on the plate thingy, then I fully reached up because I still had good discs in my neck at that time. I fully turned my head and made eye contact with him. And I watched this man go from white to white. He was whiter than the white jacket he had. He was whiter than the Jamaican girls I talked about and boys, students, children with their white-ass cracker white shirts. Remember? In a vignette way back. I just threw cracker in because I wanted to. Because you love me now and there's no malice in my heart. I just like to throw words out and get people off their game. Because it gets their attention. I'm such a bad man. So, yeah, we're done with Muhammad. Who was that minor prophet? I'm not going down to Nineveh and I'm preaching to them. I ain't doing it. That's not Job. Is that Job that wouldn't go to Nineveh? Okay, never mind. There was one of them. No, it was a minor prophet. Micah? No, it was a strange sounding name. Nick. It's got like an N. It's like N and it's like 3 syllables. Daniel, help me. From the Nazarene Church. Pastor, talk to Daniel. He knows all the big gats. So, this guy turned whiter than his jacket. Oh, God, that was beautiful. Well, it was beautiful until I had to shake his hand every night after the evening dinners. If I tried to hide from him and go up to like the Windjammer, which would be like there's plenty of places to eat on a cruise ship, and not go into the formal dinner, I swear to goodness, if somehow he wouldn't personally deliver it up. Man, that guy had a handshake. Yeah, fun story, fun memory. I told you all about this before. Okay, but that's the first, because we're at 20 minutes. So that's the first cruise ship story. But on the heels of this, I'm going to tell you about a couple more right on the heels of this. So Garcon is gone. I love you. The non-listening, viewing, the non-listening, the non-viewing, you guys. And Salma, or, my 15th subscriber could be Michelle Obama. It's possible. Okay? Because remember those 2 tracks I laid down where I was just on her? So, it's how good the Secret Service is. She's still the first lady. See, you got to remember that. You forget that. Okay? If you okay, don't go too far off because you're running over time. She's still the first lady. All right? Just leave it at that. So, she could be my 15th subscriber. In that case, I'm going uptown. That's right. Barack, like I told you, fair warning, on guard. Don't let me get next to your woman. You might have a little competition, unintended, right? And the Secret Service ain't going to bail your ass out of that one. Not going to happen. Because when mama's happy, everybody happy. You know how that works. It's good to be a bachelor. Sometimes I'm lonely, but sometimes I found the squirrel nest. I'm looking up at it right now because with all the Agent Orange, which would be otherwise known as fall, the leaves. Oh, there's a clump of leaves right there in the crook of that tree. So now I'm going to observe that. I have binoculars, but it's so close I really don't need them yet. All right, more stories to follow.